let's take a look at the Numbergrow property settings here. So for Numbergrow default, in terms of the default tile set, this is turned off on visibility. If you noticed when we played it the last time, this doesn't show, but the game pieces show for it. We have a number settings. Number settings is basically going over the basics for the rules, the conditions, and how the game starts. We have a win condition value, which is saying how many points do you need to get in order to win. You have a start count, so if you notice we had 2 that showed up the first time. You could say that you want it to spawn with 2, 3, 4 at the start for how many pieces are on the board to start with. We'll say we're going to change it though. We're just going to say 1 is going to show. Default setting, this is usually around like 80 something percent. When we say the spawn value percent, we're saying that spawn value percent 80, we'll say like this, 80% time is going to be spawn value 1. And then the rest of the time will be spawn value 2. So when it comes to this percentage setup, just remember that spawn value 1, whichever number you put here, is the number that shows up as the game piece. So that we're saying that 80% of the time we want game piece to be number 2 when it shows up. Alright, and then we have a delay between moves, and this is just going to say how long does it take to actually move again between the time you push the keys, and we're just 0.3 seconds on it. The colliders on tiles, we'll take a look at this when we put a player in the scene, but it essentially just creates a collider object for each of the game pieces so that players could jump and move on it. And then you also have an option for saving on high score, that way you can have a high score system for it. Alright, so those are going to be the basic setup pieces for this one. We'll go ahead and take a look. We're going to do this one later, but we'll take a look at one spawn count and then the percentage on it. So just to give you an idea here, one more time through on the setup. So when it comes up for the build, what we should see is just one tile that allows us to move, and when we do move, it'll create the next tile for it. And we have a 80% chance for a 2 and a 20% chance for a 4. So now we have the 4 show up, and when we move, now we have the next one. So again, we're going to have a higher chance of 2 showing up versus the 4. Alright, so there you go. Just kind of give you an idea of how you can have this set up and how you can change the initial rules to be able to play in it.